Hi everybody, this is Crystal. Today I'm going to show you how to make this dress. It's actually two pieces, the exact same, sewed together along the side, and then some straps added. But the yarn that we use, which I highly recommend, is very stretchy, so it gives it the look of it, not, you know, like curved look. So it's really nice. But it's really just two pieces that are straight across, if you can see, sewed together along the sides. But once you put it on, the yarn is so stretchy that it makes it look like it's dipped down, so it's really nice. I'm going to show you how to make the dress that you just saw in the picture. Now that dress is for a size extra large, but it's going to be for somebody tall because my mannequin is 6'1", but you can always adjust the length. That's fine, you know, it's real easy just to stop wherever you want to stop, whenever it gets to the length that you want it to be. Okay, I'm using a Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable, and there's 270 yards, and it took me 4 skeins to make that, make mine that size. It's a medium weight, 100% acrylic 4-ply. I definitely recommend using this yarn or something extremely similar, because of it has kind of a lacy and a stretchy effect to it. Like, it's a pretty simple made dress. It's just two pieces sewn together, but when you get the straps on it, the straps kind of, the way this is, it stretches down and makes it look like a really nice dress. So I would probably recommend using this. The color I use is called Title. Of course, you can use any color that you want. Another brand that's similar to this, though, is Lion Brand Landscapes. It's pretty similar to this. That would be something that you could use. I probably wouldn't use a worsted weight yarn or anything like that. I don't think it's going to drape the same. And then I'm going to use a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. Now this is stitches done in a multiple of 16, so you can adjust the size. Mine I made to fit my mannequin, so it's an extra large, really tall. But if you want to make it bigger or smaller, you can chain in a multiple of 16. I'm starting with a chain of 81. It's actually a multiple of 16 plus 1, but my base chain of 81 already has the multiple of 1 added to it. So if you wanted to make it bigger, you could just add 16 to my 81 once or twice if you want to make it, you know, like 2x, 3x, 4x. Or you can take away 16 from my 81, because my 81 already contains the plus 1. I hope you understood that. So all you really need to do to make it bigger or smaller is either take away 16 stitches or add 16 to my, or add more than 16, just depending on how big you want it, to my base chain of 81. But to follow my pattern, you want to start out with a chain of 81. Okay, and then we're going to put, I'm going to do mine smaller because I already got my big pieces done. But then you want to put 1 single crochet in the second stitch from the hook, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch until you get to the end of the chain. And when you get to the end, if you're following me, you should have a chain of, or you should have a total of 80 stitches once you get to the end. Okay, once you make it to the end, you have your 80 single crochets. That'll end round 1. For round 2, we're going to chain 1, or row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Then we're going to put 1 single crochet into the very first stitch, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to skip 2 stitches, skip, and single crochet into the next, like that. And then I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2 stitches, skip, single crochet into the next. Then I'm going to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 3 stitches, skip, 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 and single crochet into the next. Chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2 stitches and single crochet into the next. And then I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and skip 2 and single crochet into the next. Now we're just going to repeat all that we just did. So we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, skip 2, 1, 2, single crochet into the next. Then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 2, skip, skip, single crochet into the next. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 3, skip, 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 single crochet into the next. Chain 5, skip 2, single crochet into the next, and then you chain 3, skip 2, and then you'll single crochet into the next and repeat until you get to the end. But I did mine shorter, so I'm already at the end. And when you get to the end, you just repeat your whole thing to the end. At the end, you'll have your chain 3, and you'll have 2 here to skip. Your last stitch is actually going to be in this turn chain right there. There's the 2 stitches that you skip. Your last one will be in this turn chain. Like that. And that'll end row 2. And you should have, if you're following me, you'll have 15 chain 5 spaces and 10 chain 3 spaces. Remember, mine's shorter because I'm just doing a small swatch of it. Okay, row 3, we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and turn our work. Now we're going to put 1 double crochet right back into that same stitch. And then we're going to chain 3. And we're going to skip this first chain 3 space right here. And we're going to put 1 single crochet in this chain 5 space. Single crochet right through it. Oops. And now we're going to jump to the next chain 5 space right here, and we're going to put 9 double crochets through that chain 5 space. All through that space. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, like that. And then we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 space. And then we're going to chain 3. Okay, so we're going to chain 3. We're going to skip this chain space. And in this single crochet right here, we're going to put 3 double crochets into that single crochet. 3 doubles. So there's 1, 2, and 3. This is what's starting our repeat. And then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, And then we're going to skip this chain 3 space and single crochet into the next chain 5 space, like that. And then this next chain 5 space we'll get 9 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 space, and then we're going to chain 3, skip this chain space, and then we'll put 3 double crochets into the next single crochet, and you'll just keep repeating that until you get to the end. And I'll be at the end right now. So what you want to do when you get to the end is you do a chain 3, you finish out your repeat, skip the next chain space, but instead of 2 double crochet or 3 double crochets into the next single crochet, we're just going to end with 2 double crochets into the next, or into that last stitch. And that'll end row 3, and you should have 5 sets of the 9 double crochet now, and those are the starts of our little fans. If you're following me, remember, if you made it bigger, yours will be different. Okay, row 4, I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to put 1 single crochet in the very first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to skip this chain 3 space right here. And now what I'm going to do is double crochet into my first double crochet right here, and then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to double crochet into my next one, chain 1, double crochet into my next one, chain 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1. I'm just going to do this all the way across, all 9 double crochets, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. You do that till you get all 9 double crochets done. Like that, and chain 1 after your last one. And then you're going to skip this chain 3 space here, and now we're going to start our repeat. We're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 3 double crochets. So 1 single crochet into the next 3. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to chain 1, skip this chain space, and start again by putting 1 double crochet into the first double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet into the next, chain 1, and we're going to do that across all 9 of these double crochets. Okay, chain 1. There should be 9 of them there, 9 double crochets. And then you're going to skip that next chain 3 space. And then you'll put 3, or you're going to skip that next chain 3 space. And it'll be 1 single crochet into the next 3 double crochets. And then you'll chain 1, skip the next chain 3 space, and then you'll do your fans again. So it's just like what we did here. And you want to do that till you get to the end. And when you get to the end, just repeat that sequence until you get to the end. And when you get to the end, what you want to do is you'll just skip this chain 3 space here, and you'll put 1 single crochet in each of these last 2 stitches. And that's how you'll end that one. Okay, that'll be in the row 4, and you still should have 5 of these little fans going. Okay, for row 5, we're going to chain 1 and turn. It's going to be similar to what we just did. We're going to put 1 single crochet into the very first stitch. And then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet. We're going to skip this chain space here. And we'll get 1 double crochet into the first double crochet. Chain 1. 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1. We're going to do that all the way across all 9 of these double crochets. Double crochet, chain 1. Double crochet, chain 1. Double crochet, chain 1. Do that across all of these double crochets. You should have 9 of them. Okay, make sure you single crochet or chain 1 after that last double crochet. And then we're going to skip this little space here, and now this is going to start our repeat. We're going to skip this single crochet and single crochet into that middle single crochet like that, and chain 1. We're going to skip this single crochet and this chain space, and we're going to double crochet into the first double crochet and chain 1, and do that all the way across all these double crochets. So you should do it 9 times. Don't forget to chain 1 afterwards, and then we'll chain 1 on for that last double crochet, and then we'll start our repeat by skipping the first single crochet and single crocheting into the next one, which is the middle of those 3, and then skipping the next single crochet and starting again. We'll skip the single crochet here, skip the single crochet, and then we'll start again with our doing our double crochet chain 1 fans, and you just repeat that until you get to the end. And when you get to the end, you'll skip this chain space, skip the first single crochet, and you end with 1 single crochet into that last stitch, just like that, and that will end row 5, and you'll still have 5 fans. Fans are starting to get bigger now. Okay, for row 6, we're going to chain 6, which is going to count as a double crochet, and a chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn our work. We're going to skip the first 2 chain spaces, which means this one right here and this one right here. And we're going to single crochet into this next one. Then you want to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to skip 2 chain spaces. So skip, skip, single crochet into the next. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And single crochet into the next chain space. Like that. So you'll have 3 chain 5 spaces to start our rows of fans again. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip these 2 chain spaces, and we're going to put 1, this is going to start our repeat, 1 double crochet into the top of this single crochet right here, 1 double. Then we're going to chain 3 like that, skip these first 2 chain spaces, single crochet into the next, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain space, chain 5, skip the next 2 chain spaces, so skip, skip, single crochet into the next, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain space. So now we got our 3 chain 5 spaces. Now we're gonna chain 3 again, and then we're going to skip the next 2 chain spaces, which should be here and here, and then we'll put 1 double crochet into the next single crochet, and then we'll repeat it again. Chain 3, you skipped, then you'll just repeat it again. Put 1 double crochet here, chain 3, skip these 2 chain spaces, single crochet in this one, chain 5, single crochet in your next one, chain 5, skip 2, single crochet in your next one, chain 5, single crochet in your next one, and then you chain 3, and when you just keep repeating that until you get to the end. And then when you get to the end, you'll skip these 2 chain, you'll have your chain 3, and you'll skip these 2 chain spaces, and you'll end with 1 double crochet into the last stitch here, one double like that. And when you get done with row 6, you'll have 15 chain 5 spaces and 10 chain 3 spaces. Now for row 7, we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double, turn our work, 1 double crochet into the same stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip this chain space right here and single crochet into our first chain 5 space, and now we're going to work 9 doubles into our next chain 5 space. So we're just starting our fans over. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 space. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip this next chain 3 space, and now we're going to start our repeat again. We're going to put 3 double crochets into this double crochet right here. 3 double crochets. Just 1, 2, 3, and then we chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Skip this space here, single crochet into our next chain 5 space, 9 double crochets into the next chain 5 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. 1 single crochet into our next chain 5 space, and then we chain 3, and we just repeat by putting 3 double crochets into our next double crochet, chain 3, 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 space, 9 double crochets into the next chain 5 space, and then 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 space. And you just keep repeating that until you get to the end. And when you get to the end, you'll have your chain 3 after your last repeat. You want to, here's our beginning chain 6 that we did. You want to put 2 double crochets in the 3rd stitch of our beginning chain 6. So you just end with 2 double crochets in that 3rd stitch. Now it's kind of just a repeat of what we've been doing. You can see what it starts to look like. You need to repeat rows 4 through 7. So you can go back and rewind me and find out which rows. I had a little trouble with this stitch, I'm not going to lie, at first. I don't think, it took me a little while to figure it out, but I got it. Once you get it down, it's real easy. So, I mean, you'll get to go and it'll work up real fast once you get it going. But I did have to frog it a few times, but I got it. So you just keep repeating rows 4 through 7 until you get to your desired length. Okay, I did mine for a total of 67 rows, and I ended on a row of just 9 double crochet. That's how I ended mine. Remember, my mannequin is really tall, so you do yours to the desired length. You may not even need as much yarn as I said, but you need to do 2 pieces the exact same, and then we'll sew them together. And now what we're going to do is put a single crochet across the top of both pieces. So you can just start right over here in the corner and start your yarn in the corner there, chain 1. Now go back into that same corner stitch and single crochet, and then we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch across, and we're going to do this on the top of both pieces. And you should have 80 single crochets on each piece. Make sure the right side of your work is facing you though. Just like that. So go all the way across the top of this piece and then turn your work around and go all the way across the top of this other piece with single crochet. Okay, now with the wrong side of your work facing you, here's where you did your single crochet at the top, put them together, and we're just going to sew all the way down both sides. Now this is just I'm going to use a yarn, piece of yarn and a yarn needle. That's the easiest way for me, especially since it's kind of a lacy dress. But if you want to slip stitch it together, that's fine. You just start up in the corner. Don't mind my mess of tails there. I still got to sew them together and kind of just whip stitch it together all the way down. And we're going to do both sides the same way. But it's very important that you make sure you keep both sides lined up. Oops. Like that. And every once in a while I look and make sure everything's lining up, because if it's not lined up when you sew it together, it's not going to come together at the bottom. So it's important that you keep them lined up. So just take your time and sew it neatly together. Maybe we're doing that with the wrong side facing us. But I guess both sides look the same, so it doesn't really matter. But we're just going to flip it inside out. So this seam will be on the inside. And this row of single crochet we did is facing the wrong side. When we flip it, it'll be facing the right side. So I'm going to look again and make sure I'm keeping it lined up. And I'm going to continue sewing it all the way down both sides from top to bottom. Like I said, this is just a quick and easy way to make a little dress without having to do a bunch of extra decreases and everything. There we go. So I'm just going to keep going until I get all the way down. Kind of give a little stretch all the way down both sides. Okay, now for the straps, they're adjustable. I mean, you can make them any size that you want. Once you sew them on, they're not adjustable, but you can, you don't have to make them the size I do. If you have broader shoulders, you might want to hold the dress up to yourself and make the strap to fit. But if you're using this yarn here, it's really stretchy, so you have to remember it's going to stretch quite a bit after you put it on. So you might want to make your straps a little bit shorter than what it seems like they're going to fit, and then they'll stretch on. But anyways, for mine, I did a chain 25, and all it is one single crochet in the second stitch from the hook, and then one single crochet in every stitch. It's just single crochet straps. And if you look, instead of going through it like I normally would, I'm just flipping it and going through that little bump right back here, that one loop, and it'll make this side of the single crochet not all open and stuff like it normally would. So I'm just kind of, you don't have to do it this way, but I'm kind of flipping it. Here's the back of my chain. I'm just going through this one loop back here. This one loop. And that'll make the chain, see how it makes it look kind of nice and neat instead of having a big open gap. Or you can do the foundationless single crochet. I guess that's what they call it. But anyways, once you get to the end, I did mine a little shorter because I already had my straps made. You just chain one and turn. And forgot to tell you too, but if you want to start out with a longer tail to sew it on, you can. You don't have to do that. But then you put 1 single crochet back into that same stitch, first stitch, and then 1 single crochet in every stitch across. So it's just 2 rows of single crochet. I started with a chain of 25. I single crocheted in the second stitch from the hook, and then when I got to the end of that, I would have 24 stitches. I chain 1 and turn. Now I'm single crocheting, 1 single crochet across again, and when you get to the end, you'll have 24 stitches again. And then you want to tie off and leave a longer tail for sewing. I already got mine done. So this is how we're going to sew it on. You still got the right side of your work facing you. I'm going to count in. Remember, we used 2 stitches to sew up here. It don't have to be exact, just approximately 20 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to use the 20 and 21st stitch to sew this on with. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my 2 stitches here, and I'm going to do the same on both sides. So I'm going to use my yarn needle. You want to get where it looks the best to you, where you think the right side looks good to you. I'm going to do mine this way. And I got my okay, and then I'm just going to take it, and on that 20 and 21st stitch, I'm going to go down a little bit, start sewing it right in between these 2 rows. So kind of put it on the back there, and then right along the 20, 21st stitch from this side over, just sew it nice and tight. Make so because you want to make sure your strap does not come off. See, I'm sewing it down here a little bit onto this row, and then I'll sew it up on the other row too. Now I'll go up to the next row, get it sewed on really tight. Don't want it popping off. That wouldn't be good. Strap breaking on this. And like I said, sewing it on the 20 and 21st stitch from the side, it doesn't have to be exact, just kind of right around that area. And once you feel like it's sewed on tight and that it's not going to come undone, you can hide your tail on the back, and then you want to sew it to the other side in the same spot. Here also, I'll weave this in a little bit later, but then you just flip it over and you find the same stitches, the 20th, 21st stitch from this side. So right about here, or you can look and see where it's sewed at here. So it's sewed right about in the middle of this, so that's about where you want to sew it, so right out in the middle. So without twisting or untwist your strap there, because sometimes it gets twisty. Make sure it's not twisted when you sew it on. And then you just sew it on the same way, in the same spot. So again, you just look back and you can see that it's sewed on. Here's my 9 double crochets. It's sewed on in between the circle next to it. So it's just sewed on kind of right here. Pull it down a little bit to where it's covering both these rows here, and then you just start neatly sewing it on. And just make sure that it's not twisted up. I have my other one twisted. Felt kind of stupid. after I was done. I had to redo it. Just get it sewed on nice and tight, so you know it's not gonna come undone. And then you just want to sew the other strap in the same spot. Sorry, my big hands are in the way. But let's just get it sewed on there really good. So I'm going to finish sewing this on, and I'm going to hide my tails.